What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a very exciting Liverpool video, and in this video we will talk about the brand new Nike kit deal that Liverpool are about to sign according to Forbes and various other newspapers are reporting it, Business Insider, Daily Mail, The Mirror. Liverpool are about to sign the biggest Premier League kit deal in the history, and the Forbes report that the deal would be worth more than Manchester United's £75 million deal per year agreement with Adidas. So in this video I will also show you some very interesting, very nice concept kits that would show how the Liverpool kits would look like if Nike became our sponsor. And I'm a big fan of this because I think Liverpool, being a self-sustainable club, we need to get as much sponsorship money in as possible, and this would be a very big, very good step in the right direction. I think we are with New Balance for like 5 years now, and this would be a significant increase in sponsorship money that Liverpool would get every year from next season. That would mean that Liverpool can spend more money on transfers, bringing in better players and being more successful on the pitch, and that's what everybody wants. The owners, the fans, Jurgen Klopp, the players, everybody wants this. So the deal would be also the third highest in world football, behind only Barcelona and Real Madrid. Barcelona bank $122 million per year and $134 million for Real Madrid. They are sponsored by Nike and Adidas respectively, and Nike also sponsor already 3 other Premier League clubs, Brighton, Chelsea and Tottenham. And I'm very excited about this. You know, I don't really mind whatever you know, brand is on the Liverpool kits. I'm not really like a huge fan of just one brand. I of course liked always the unique kits that New Balance came up with. So some Liverpool fans, I heard on Twitter, showed a little bit of concern that maybe we will lose the uniqueness of the New Balance kits if we are going with Nike. But honestly, if Nike can pay like double what New Balance are paying right now, it's a no-brainer for Liverpool to go with them. Liverpool are currently sponsored by New Balance. And I was exaggerating when I said that Nike could pay double, because New Balance are paying $55 million per year right now, and this would be $91 million per year. So it's not double, but like almost double. It's like a 40% increase every year on the sponsorship deal, which is brilliant. And Forbes report that Liverpool are already on the verge of agreeing a record-breaking deal with Nike for the start of the 2020-2021 season. The deal will reportedly be the most lucrative in the history of English football, eclipsing Manchester United's £75 million agreement with Adidas. The deal would also be the world highest in world football, as I said. Real Madrid signed a massive $1.2 billion deal with Adidas in May, and also that equals $134 million per year, and that figure could rise to as much as 170 million after merchandising, according to Go.com. And Nike already produces kits for 3 Premier League clubs. Chelsea ended its deal with a former manufacturer Adidas 6 years early to sign a 15-year contract with Nike, which is worth $73 million per year, and Tottenham take home half of that amount from their agreement with Nike, which is approximately $37 million. So this shows that there could be a big difference between clubs in terms of sponsorship deal. And I'm actually surprised that Chelsea have a kit deal worth twice as much as Tottenham, which is very strange, because they are both sponsored by Nike, and I'm not sure if Chelsea have twice as big a fan base, twice as big a reach, and twice as popular of a brand than Tottenham. But maybe when the deal was done, maybe Chelsea were of course more lucrative, but now that Tottenham reached the Champions League final and they are getting, you know, closer and closer in the Premier League title race each season, I think maybe like 50% more would make sense for Chelsea, but like double, it's a little bit too much for me. And of course, Liverpool being European champions and European Super Cup winners makes them more attractive to sponsors, and according to reports, we have held talks with Puma, with Adidas in recent months, and of course with Nike. And Liverpool's recent success in Europe and challenging for the Premier League title, and of course Liverpool having a huge global fan base, makes them very attractive and very you know, desirable for every brand to work with. But there is a clause in New Balance's contract, which means that they have the right to match any potential new offer and extend their deal. So if Nike is offering us £75 million per year, New Balance can match that, and then we have to sign with New Balance. So I think this is a good clause to have in the contract, because it gives a chance for New Balance to actually evaluate whether signing a brand new kit deal with Liverpool for the highest bidder's price is acceptable, is it desirable for them, or they can say no, it's fine, it's too much money for us, you can sign with Nike or whatever brand offers a huge amount of money. But any new deal is expected to be the biggest and most lucrative in Premier League history, and I think that would reflect the status of Liverpool FC in English football and in world football right now. So I'm very excited about this. And let's talk about the Liverpool-Arsenal game as well, because that's being played tonight, this evening. I'm really looking forward to that, watching that game and also covering that for you guys. And Socrates, one of the Arsenal defenders, said this: Liverpool could be easy to defend against after a very physical Burnley side. Of course Arsenal beat Burnley 2-1 in the previous round. This is just a fuel to the fire. What Jurgen Klopp should do is just print this on a piece of paper and stick it on the dressing room wall. That's all the motivation that Liverpool players need. I don't think the Liverpool players need any more motivation. And what is also a crazy bonkers statistic is that since Sadio Mane became a Liverpool player, he scored in every single Arsenal home game at Anfield. Since Bobby Firmino became a Liverpool player, he also scored in every single Arsenal home game at Anfield. And since Mohamed Salah became a Liverpool player, yes, you guessed it right, he also scored in every single home game against Arsenal. What a crazy bonkers statistic that is. And this is what Socrates said in an interview. For a defender, it is more difficult to play teams like Burnley because you have to fight a lot. The Liverpool game is a different game. Maybe it is more easy because you don't have to fight a lot, but they also play football. If they are on a good day and you are having a bad day, it is hard. I'm not sure I agree with Socrates. I mean, if you mean easy, like physically easier, yes, because the Liverpool defenders and the Liverpool attackers probably don't fight the same way with the Arsenal defenders as somebody like a Burnley attacker does. But if you think about the quality and how much attacking threat, attacking quality Liverpool have, I think it's miles away from the Burnley attack. And Socrates still believes that the 5-1 win for Liverpool was not the right result. This is what he said. It was not the game to concede 5 goals in. There was the penalty kicks and we made mistakes. I think this year will be different. We have to improve from the work we do with the coach and his staff. We have to prepare for this game. It will be difficult. It will be difficult, of course. Last season was not only this game we learned from. We learned from the Chelsea game, the Man City game. We know already to be at this level you have to improve and to have more confidence and character when you go to play there at Anfield. We have to have confidence and be together for 90 minutes. We have to go and play our game. We know that it is difficult and we respect Liverpool a lot, but I think the best way is to go and play our style of game, and we will see what happens. And Liverpool and Arsenal are interestingly the only two sides still with a 100% record in the Premier League. So these are the only two teams who have won all their games so far. And Liverpool have been a lot more shaky in defense, mainly because Alisson is still out injured, and Jurgen Klopp said that he still doesn't know when he will be fit, maybe after the international break in September. But also Liverpool have been defending like a little bit too casual, too overconfident. Maybe because we won the Champions League, the players feel that we are invincible, and I think that Jurgen Klopp will bring them back down to earth. Maybe the concentration wasn't at like 100% against Norwich, against Southampton, but against Arsenal, against their world-class attackers, I think the Liverpool defense really need to be on their toes, fully concentrated, very sharp, because Arsenal also have a fantastic trio of attackers. Lacazette, Aubameyang and Nicolas Pepe can cause any team problems. I'm not sure if this will be a high-scoring game, because I think that Arsenal, because of they conceded 4 and 5 goals in the past 2 years at Anfield, they will be a lot more cautious, but they will also attack Liverpool when they have the chance to do so. And Liverpool will be a little bit more cautious as well. But I think we should play with brave, with a lot of you know, attacking intent, because Arsenal's defense improved since last season. David Luiz is definitely a better defender than Mustafi, for example. But Arsenal's defense is still vulnerable, and I think they can be got at if Liverpool really play with the right intensity. Jurgen Klopp praised and gave a very interesting interview on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, his former player who he bought from Saint-Etienne. And Aubameyang was a winger at Saint-Etienne and he started on the wing at Dortmund, but Jurgen Klopp made him a number 9, made him a striker where he really shined. And this is what Jurgen Klopp said about Aubameyang. It is 4 years since I worked with him. Everybody knows everything about everybody. That is how it is. There are no surprises. Aubameyang has actually no real weaknesses apart from his fashion style. Oh, Jurgen Klopp just burnt Aubameyang with that line. I love that. You know that Aubameyang loves to drive flashy cars and dress in flashy clothes, and he even has a chrome Lamborghini or something like that, I think it's a chrome gold or chrome silver, just a very flashy color. And I'm thinking that Jurgen Klopp is maybe commenting on this. But he also continued, when we played Arsenal so far, we could kind of defend him, but it is never possible to do it 100% properly because of the speed he has. It's just difficult. We know that. We have to work with it and deal with it, and we did it in the past. We have to do it again and also create our own moments. And Jurgen Klopp also said he played as a winger at Saint-Etienne at that time. We needed a number 9 because Robert Lewandowski was leaving us to go to Bayern. We thought long and hard about it. Then he came in and he played on the wing, and later we realized that he's a really good center striker, a number 9 as well. It was not immediate like this. He developed incredibly and became a goal machine. And I have to say, his finishing is incredible. Combine that with the speed that he has and it is really interesting. We know we can improve. It's not about being perfect at the start of the season. It's about being ready, and we were beating Norwich and Southampton and also winning the European Super Cup. I think it's a decent start for Liverpool, but the performances of course could be better. Jurgen Klopp said this: now we work on being perfect. We may never reach it, but we will work. And there are a lot of positive things, but a lot of space for improvement as well. It's a team sport and you have to work. Then let's play football. So far, it's okay, no more, but now let's go again against Arsenal. So Jurgen Klopp definitely wants his Liverpool side to improve, and I think with more and more games, Liverpool will probably like perfect their playing style, their tactics as well. So it's going to be a very fascinating team tactics match between Liverpool and Arsenal. I think whoever wins the midfield battle will have a good chance of winning the game. Speaking of midfielders, Jurgen Klopp was asked when is Naby Keita back, and he gave an injury update on the player. Long term doesn't mean 6 months, it means a couple of weeks, so no real news at the moment about Naby, but he's doing well but not close enough for the weekend, which means that maybe he will be back in like 2 or 3 weeks, which is good news. And I really hope that Naby Keita can stay fit, because that's the only thing that separates him from becoming a really great Liverpool midfielder. He needs to play regularly. And Jurgen Klopp also made a very good point about the transfer window. This is what he said: I don't care when the English transfer window closes, just want it to close at the same time for everyone. I wanted it before the start of the season, but only England did it in the end, and that really makes no sense. What is the benefit for the Premier League? We really aren't involved in it. It's not a problem for us that the transfer window closes for England and not for the other nations, but it is a problem for other clubs. Why can we not review it? We can change it again. So Jurgen Klopp here says, and I fully agree with him, it doesn't make sense that the Premier League closes the transfer window before the start of the season and all the other big European leagues still have the transfer window open. So it's either everybody closes it before the start of the season, or everybody has it open like it was before until August the 31st. And I actually prefer this. You close the transfer window before the season starts, and then you can just focus on the season, and there are no more like speculation of who will leave, who will stay. But there was a benefit before for Liverpool and for other Premier League clubs, that if a player had a long-term injury, for example, Leroy Sané tore his ACL at Man City and he will be out for 6, 7, maybe even 8 months. And Man City could bring in another player, they could buy another player in August if the injuries happened at the start of the season. But now Man City have no such solution because the transfer window is closed. The other European leagues having the transfer window open is a lot of speculation still. For example, around Dejan Lovren, will he stay, will he go to Bayer Leverkusen, or even Roma was interested in him. Doesn't help that Dejan Lovren probably isn't concentrating on the football properly. And the Liverpool goalkeeping coach Achterberg gave an update on Alisson's injury. This is what he said: Alisson is good, he is in every day for treatment and they try to improve things. He's able to do some fitness work in the gym without using his leg. It's difficult, but you have to try to look forward and be positive. You have to try to turn a negative into a positive. They haven't given us a specific time that he will be out for, as it's difficult to say how quickly it will heal. That's all with the medical department. There's an international break coming up and we will have to wait and see how long it takes after that. When something like that happens, you look at everything. Had the training load changed? The reality is that we hadn't done anything differently in the build-up to that game. Alisson felt fine. We have a rule with the goalies that if there's any kind of issue, you always have to talk. He actually came back in much better shape this summer than last year when we first signed him. It was all positive, and that makes what happened so frustrating for everyone. And even Jurgen Klopp confirmed that there is no specific return date for Alisson, so we just have to wait and see like how much he heals. But I think that Adrian is a very good backup. He just made an obligatory mistake, if you like, because every new goalkeeper that Liverpool seemed to have in the last 3 years always made a big mistake early on in their career. And even Alisson did that against Leicester last season. The good news is that Alisson's mistake last year, Adrian's big mistake this year, it didn't cost Liverpool any points. We still won the games, and that's what really matters. And I really hope that Adrian can show the good side of him and keep performing at the very top level until Alisson gets back, because we really need Adrian to perform, because if we drop points early on, too many points, that could prove very, very costly in the Premier League title race when we are up against a relentless, almost perfect Manchester City. And that's it for today's video. I really hope that you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. See you later, guys. Goodbye.